Hi everybody, I'm here with Lovro Peretić, who is a visiting artist for the Brownsville Guitar Festival edition 2024. Lovro is on a national tour of the US. How many concerts are you doing in this tour?
It's around 45 concerts.
45 concerts, and I imagine it's all over the country, right?
Yeah, it's in US and actually Canada as well.
And Canada as well. Very good.
Mostly in US.
Oh, yeah, I would imagine so. So, have you already been to all sides of the country, or have you been kind of in one area more than another?
Pretty much already all sides of the country. Mostly both coasts, and then not that much in the middle. But also, yeah, I've been to pretty much everywhere by now. Yeah.
Oh, that's
and also
great.
It's almost done. So yeah, I've been to many places.
So how many more do you have to go? Are you counting it down?
7. Yeah. At this point already, I'm counting it down.
So after this one it'll be 6, or after this one it'll be 7?
After this one's 6.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to clarify that for everybody that's watching. Very good. And after that, you're going home to Croatia?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. And what city in Croatia do you live in?
I'm from Zagreb.
Zagreb.
It's the capital.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Well, very cosmopolitan place.
Yeah. More or less. Yeah. It's not a very big city compared to some big cities in here, but it's fairly big. Yeah.
Very good. And what are some of your favorite aspects of Zagreb?
I like that it's next to a mountain. That's what I really like. So it's basically you have some neighborhoods which are in the foothills of this mountain, and that I really like. So I like to go for weekends for a hike or something. That's really good. I like that it's not too big. I like compared to some cities in here that you can walk everywhere. That's what one of the only things that I would miss in here. And I like that. I bike everywhere actually in the city, so that's very convenient.
Yeah, most cities west of the Mississippi and the U.S. not really built for walking.
Yeah,
mostly driving.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, when did you get interested in music? How did you get your start?
Pretty much when I was very young. So in Croatia, how it works is that we have these music schools. They're called music schools. And you start when you are in the 2nd grade of your regular elementary school. And you start very serious actually from the beginning with some instruments. That's how I started with guitar. Just my parents put me to music school, and I didn't have much choice.
So you were just basically aimed in a direction, and you just walked into that direction. Did you start with guitar, or did you have multiple instruments, or just guitar right away?
No. So how it works that they gather children, and you have like an initial entrance exam, and then you have to sing something, do some rhythms, and then they see like if you are more for, I don't know, violin, where you don't have frets, you have to have better pitch or something else. And
so if we sing off pitch, then we immediately go to frets?
Not necessarily. Actually, for guitar in particular, the biggest demand is for guitar and for piano as well. So everyone wants guitar. I guess just because it's practical also for parents, and also when children play guitar, yeah. If you have piano, then it's also a bit more complicated, and it sounds better. I would prefer if my children played guitar rather than violin. Violin doesn't sound very good.
It's difficult in the beginning. Yeah. But of course, after one develops the expertise, it's glorious, right? Just like anything else.
For that, I would prefer guitar.
And from that time, did you pretty much assume that would be your career, or?
So actually, already after 2-3 years, I started being good at it, I guess, and I started doing these youth competitions, which are just something that motivates you to do something more, something outside of the regular program, and and I started to get good feedback from that. I started to get good results, and just one thing led to another, and I ended up doing it for a job.
Well, yeah, and obviously you won the world's premier solo guitar competition with the Guitar Foundation of America. Of course, congratulations, and you get this wonderful tour, wonderful, exhausting, beautiful for the audience kind of tour. What were some of the things that went through your mind when you began competitions? Did you have certain feelings or fears that kind of evolved over time, or is it all pretty much the same thing?
It was kind of a combination of stress, but I would say in a good way. I was always coping with it well, I think. I'm the type of person that needs to be I was type of a kid that needed to be a bit pushed, kind of lazy. So for that it was good because I had some deadlines that I have to prepare for, and I had this kind of a bit of pressure, which was in a healthy way. And I liked that. And to that extent that since I did a lot of these youth competitions, I realized at some point when I was around 18, something like that I felt better playing competitions than concerts. At that time, when I was 17, 18, I had my first solo concert, and it didn't go as well as I planned. Yeah, it's a different skill, I would say. When you compete, it's more.
Do you think there's more direct expectations? There's a framework like set repertoire and certain expectations in the variety and types of styles, and you feel like you're directed into a more focused area, and maybe playing a concert is more open expectation?
It's exactly that, yeah, pretty much. So basically with concerts, already at the end of my competing career, I had kind of a developed strategy which doesn't make you win, but I think, I believe so, at least, that it helps you doing some. So basically it's about picking repertoire, what to put at the beginning, what to put in the end, how long to have the repertoire, I don't know, what to do.
Would you feel comfortable divulging some of your strategy?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, it's also it's very common thing. A lot of people would think the same. So
what do you put at the beginning and what do you put at the end?
Interestingly, that's only towards the end what I started to do. I started to put the things that I know the best, that I feel the most comfortable at the beginning. Because, I mean, it's not a good thing to say, but I think really that the jury, when you hear, I was also a few times in the jury, and I did that myself, that pretty much you decide on where you will place the competitor at the beginning, which is not a bad thing. It sounds bad, but...
So first impression is a true thing when people judge competitions very often.
Yeah. So I would feel for myself, I think that it's very important to put the things that you feel that you can show the most at the very beginning, and then of course later you shouldn't play really bad, but it has to be the very best thing.
Probably the best advice that you can give somebody in any circumstances. You shouldn't play really bad. I wish I had taken that advice. And so you start with a good impression and you leave with a good impression.
Preferably.
Are there differences in repertoire selection, say, between the U.S. and Europe? Or is it pretty much the same?
I didn't try to make a big difference. I did try to make a difference, for example, for competitions I played a lot of more kind of contemporary language pieces, and now on the tour I try to exclude it just because it's, even for musicians, even for myself, when I hear some pieces I can't really enjoy it as much because it's more
accessibility
music. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So now I almost completely excluded anything which is very contemporary, just because I think it's more appropriate for the wider audience.
Well, I think that right there, would be great advice for folks that are both preparing for competition and giving concerts for the general public. The idea that one should be aware of their audience. And I think that's very, very good advice, especially if you're intensively involved in competition.
Exactly.
So what are you looking forward to now that, as you said, you're kind of at the end of your competitive career? Are you at the end of your competitive career?
Yeah, I'm done with this competition. I decided that that's it.
Okay. So what are you looking forward to as a musician?
Definitely, I would like to not only play but also teach eventually. So my idea is kind of to have teaching regularly and then also playing concerts, and not as many as this year. This year it was very exceptional, and I guess around 15, 20 concerts per year, something like that. Not too crazy, and not just solo concerts. I really look forward to playing chamber music. I play in a guitar trio regularly. Also, I played with some other instruments. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to start also some new projects with violin, with a singer, with different combinations. So, to try basically to have as much diversity as possible, and that's what I want to do.
Certainly playing chamber music allows for that diversity of repertoire, diversity of culture, stylistic diversity. It just opens up the whole world.
Absolutely.
Very good, very good. And are you looking forward to teaching in a conservatory at home?
Yes, I guess so. Yeah, eventually. So, either in the music school or in the conservatory, but yeah, absolutely, I'm looking forward to do that probably from this following fall.
What other things about the U.S. Have you discovered that surprised you in this tour, especially with regard to audiences? Did you have any surprises, or is it pretty usual?
Not really. I'm used to how audiences are in Europe, and here it's very, very similar. Yeah, it's very similar. What is a bit different, I would say, connected to guitar, is that here you have these guitar societies, which in Europe they don't really exist. It's not existing. Yeah, so we have more of festivals like you have in here, which I really like, because you have few days and you get more guitarists, and then I often meet some people who I know from before, and I get to know some new people. That's really nice, and
that's one of the best parts of festivals in general is people gathering who have the same passions or focus in their lives, and really enjoying visiting with our colleagues almost as much as the music that we discover.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So that's what I like about it, and we have more of those. It seems like in Europe. Here it's more like just concert series, which is really great as well. Yeah, we miss maybe more of them in Europe.
Yeah.
So in that way, but otherwise it's very similar. Yeah, the concert itself from the beginning to the end, it's the same. Yeah.
Have you played any concerts in like unusual environments? I've heard stories of people like playing in something that resembles a garage, people that play in kind of barn-like structures. Have you had any of those experiences?
Nothing like that. No.
Oh.
It was either a concert hall or a university, some hall, or a church. But no, nothing like that.
Nothing like that.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, I hope at some point you get a chance to play in an unusual environment.
Yeah,
and it goes very well.
Yeah.
And what other advice would you give for young musicians that are looking for a boost to their career? Is a competitive route something that you would recommend?
Not necessarily, and I would feel that nowadays less and less, at least with guitar, is necessarily a good idea to expect that you would get some career from competitions. I think we live in a time of media, and which is really strong, and social media. I think this would be maybe the better way. So basically, more thinking of how to get that work that you're doing out, that people can see it. So it's kind of more about that. I know a lot of people who are really, really good at it, and they are doing great. So they're a perfect example of that. And of course, competition, but It depends, yeah.
It depends on the person and what their desires and their strengths are.
Absolutely.
So if they're, as you described yourself, having a really good strategy developed in your competitive path, if others feel very confident with that, then that should be their route as well. And if not, maybe a different route through social media and exposure that way.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being here and lending yourself to this festival. It's our pleasure to have you here, and of course we wish you the best in all of your future endeavors, and we wish you bon voyage after this, and we're looking forward to the concert and master classes and all the other contributions as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching this BSPA video. Go ahead and hit like and subscribe if you like what you see. And if you really like what you see, go ahead and go to our website, brosoperformingarts.org, and smash the donate button. And then we'll really like you too.